Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of the TheCineChat, the podcast for casual moviegoers and cinephiles alike. This is Brent,
Mike,
Josh,
and Josiah.
And we're here with a full crew to talk about movie news, rumors, and all the good stuff coming out of Hollywood and the other stuff of cinema that we come across. So,
we're still waiting for a Bollywood story. We haven't done that yet.
Bollywood?
As soon as there's one,
We've had a porn lead-in story.
We've had a couple different porn stories to talk about, but
nothing Bollywood.
Nothing Bollywood yet. I was actually just listening to a podcast where they were talking about Bollywood and how it's like a weird mixture of musical theater and high-end action films. And they were like, if you ever just want everything in one, Bollywood is where you go. And I was like, I should probably watch more Bollywood films because that sounds awesome and kind of weird all at the same time.
I guess I'm not familiar with this term. I guess I can't. What's
Bollywood?
a Bollywood? I know like what a Bollywood film is.
It's like
I've heard the terms used so many times that I don't know what it is.
Made in India.
Yeah, and I know that
from India.
Like Slumdog Millionaire isn't technically a Bollywood film, but it does take like imagery from Bollywood films, especially like the end credits where they'd have the dance number. But I've never actually sat and watched a full Bollywood
Dancing.
film. Yeah,
Right, that's what I was wondering.
like
I was like, I don't think I've ever watched one, and I've never been informed if I've watched one. So I've heard the term Bollywood used so many times that I just didn't know.
Yeah. So when we get
I wanted to learn something today.
When we get a story, though, I promise I will jump right into it and we'll talk all about it and we'll get some stuff. Maybe we'll sit and watch a Bollywood film all together one
That
time.
doesing sound fun.
We don't have to.
All right, fine,
I'll be
then
sick
we won't.
that day.
Speaking of seeing films, did anyone see any new films
Nope.
in the last week?
Last week, I've been working on a small feature at my job doing special effects, so I have not really done much. I've watched that film, which is cool.
Okay.
Parts of it.
Parts
I
of
haven't
it.
watched all of it.
Nothing has come out since Deadpool that I wanted to see. So
Yeah, that's kind of I think where I've been at too. It's like that was kind of like the highlight.
I want to see The Witch.
Oh yeah, I want to see The Witch, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I returned to work full time last week. I also
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I also thought I was dying or had a blood clot, so I had to go to the doctors.
Oh my God.
I also burnt my stomach on ramen noodle liquid. So I've got a giant burn and spill on my stomach that's scabbing
There's
over.
like ramen noodle like scars.
No,
like is there like little squiggly scars? Like it looks like tapeworms all over your stomach.
It wasn't the noodles. It was just the liquid.
Oh, it's just the broth?
Yeah, so
How did this happen?
I went to move, like, I had a bowl, and I was carrying it, and it was hot, so I had it, like, with the gloves, you know, the oven mitts. With the gloves. And it went to slip, and I was like, oh no, I can't break this glass. So when you're carrying something, what do you do to you put it against yourself to catch it and hold it? Well, when I did that, it just sloshed over and spilt around the bowl all down my stomach, and now it's like scabbing.
So do you have like an upside down U scar?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty rough looking. But that was my week, so I didn't get to go see anything.
Here's another question. What kind of ramen noodle was it? Was
just the chicken? Yeah.
Did your stomach smell like chicken for a while?
No, because as soon as it happened, there was some cursing, and then there was just pouring water on it, then the aloe, and I was just rubbing my belly, just aloeing it up, and then
Aloe.
Aloe.
I say aloe. Aloe, whatever.
yeah, it's definitely aloe.
Sure.
I was like, Halo.
I'm gonna go
Is
back.
he playing Halo, but he's got like a really thick accent?
It's
I gotta play Halo. I put Halo on my chair.
It's Catalard as well. So, but yeah, so I did that, and then Neosporin once it started to crack and bleed, and it was a rough week for me. But
Jesus.
so I didn't get to see anything.
Because
I was
Because
busy
of ramen noodles.
because of ramen noodles, and I wasn't able to breathe a couple of days, which was kind of rough. But enough of that. Let's get into movies, because that's what really people come here for. No one cares about me. So,
this has been great.
So, first things that I want to talk about is a new. The thing that I got most excited for is a Daredevil trailer came out for season 2.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we all really liked Daredevil the first season, right?
Yeah.
I know Josiah, you took a while to get there.
It took me a minute. It was, I think, when I got into it, when I was like, I'm sold on the show, was when, what's his name? Kingpin. I don't know. I forgot his name. But,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
No, but like the character's name.
Wilson Fisk.
Wilson, yeah. I'm not big
Someone
into the
knows
Daredevil comics, so I always forget people's names. But when he slammed that dude's face in the door, in the SUV. That scene, that's when I was sold. I was like, this is brutal. This is great. Because I just wasn't digging it until then.
Mm-hmm. What episode is that?
Like 4, 5.
Yeah, I'm on 2. So
you haven't finished it?
No.
Still.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. That's not a spoiler. Like,
yeah.
What?
Oh, really?
Kingpin does something mean to someone?
I thought we
I
all
wanted
watched
to find
it.
out for myself. No, that's the one that I haven't watched yet.
Wow.
I haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's not really Netflix.
I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, come on. Hold on. Let's talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a
That show has
second.
gotten better from what I've heard.
It does. Halfway through season 1, it gets good. Like I've talked to people that hadn't seen it, and I was like, just give it a shot, and they'll come back and they'll be like, I got to episode 8, and I'm still not into it. It's like, that's because you're not halfway yet. There's 22 episodes in a season. You got to get to episode 12.
Far to go to get into a show.
I know, but then it redeems itself and it's good, and then they kind of build off some of the backstory. So like the first 12 episodes, you kind of learn about the characters, and they're kind of connected to the Marvel universe, but like from a distance kind of a thing. So the overall plot is connected to like more so like the Avengers and Captain America, but it gets good and it gets entertaining, way better than like besides like the Netflix series. But like for me, it's like one of the better comic book TV shows on a major network.
Yeah,
because I watched Arrow and that show was god awful. I can't
Arrow.
watch that show. I cannot watch that show. I gave it a really good effort. I made it to episode 13, I think.
First season?
First season.
First season's awful.
It's so bad. Like every episode is written the exact same way.
Yeah.
It's like starts off where the brother and the sister have a fight, and then it's like, I don't like you anymore. I don't like you anymore. And then he goes and fights and do some stuff, and then he has to hide
and
these
the flashbacks are stupid.
Yeah, and he flashbacks to the
Nobody
island.
cares.
And I'm still not a fan of the way that Deathstroke looked
Yeah.
in the show. I thought that was stupid. It's a very plasticky look.
Yeah.
And then they cut back, and then he wraps up the episode, and then he goes back to his sister and his mom, and they're like, "We love you," and then that's it. And then they're like all friendly at the end, and then the next episode starts, and the sister's like, "You're a dick. You left. Blah 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 blah. You were abandoned on an island for 30 or whatever years."
What about
5 years.
Flash?
5 years.
I heard Flash was
I love
a good
the Flash.
one of that.
Yeah, I love the Flash. Have you seen that?
I haven't watched the Flash yet, just because I know that there's some crossover. With
Yeah, but you don't
Flash.
really have to like cross it over.
That's what I was wondering, if like I needed to watch the Arrow show,
No,
or
you don't.
but I've never been big into the Flash either. So that's
Neither was I before I watched it.
But you're
And
into
then-
it now?
And then you realize the Flash is actually really fucking sweet.
I would use that language, but
Well, going back to the main point of the story is
Are we not supposed to cuss
Daredevil.
anymore?
Daredevil trailer came out.
yeah.
And-
Well, I'm planning to watch season 1 before season 2 comes out.
you got
That is a good plan.
You've got limited time then, my
Yeah,
friend.
I've got a month
Yeah.
ish.
Month-ish. You got more
doesn't
like
it come like March 18th.
It's
got like 3
a week
weeks
before Batman vs Superman.
I keep getting it
released.
confused
Oh,
with
yeah.
the
You got like 3
release of the
weeks.
trailer part 2 date
so
and the
excited.
actual trailer.
The
Because
first one is so sweet.
the trailer, it has Punisher in it, and Punisher's pretty much the main point of the trailer. It's like, hey, this is a Daredevil show, but it's really a Punisher
Guess
show.
what?
Yeah.
A new guy.
Well, I mean, I assume that he's meant to be like the
Antagonist for
guys,
this
yeah.
season.
right? Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah.
they've already alluded to the fact that Elektra's in this show too.
And
At
that's what the
end of the
second trailer
trailer,
is going to be.
It's probably
for.
going to be more Elektra heavy.
Yeah,
in the second.
so-
That's what I assumed as well.
I'm assuming there's going to be like this triangle of people fighting against each other. It's like Batman versus Superman, the idea of it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Jessica Jones will cross over now that like
Hope
both
so.
had one season. If something from one of the other, because they had in Jessica Jones they had a little crossover, but I'm wondering
With
if
the Doctor.
it'll eventually. Yeah,
I was just thinking because you said Batman versus Superman, and I was like, well, how would they use one of those cheesy lines to sell Daredevil versus Punisher? Like
Yeah.
Bat of Gotham versus Son of Krypton.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, so what are we gonna get? Devil of Dare versus Frank of or Castle of Frank. Like, oh, God.
it would be the Devil of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Versus-
Devil's-
The Devil of Hell's Kitchen versus Castle of Frank.
I like Castle of Frank.
That's the high
it's
point of
just-
that.
I want the Punisher suit because we haven't even seen.
No,
him.
yeah.
I'm guessing they're gonna do similar to what I've heard they do with Daredevil, where
Yeah.
it takes a while. I mean, like I'm watching it, and I'm like, This guy looks neato in his bandana. Can't wait to get to the Daredevil suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen the suit, so I'm like, all right, cool. I know what's coming, but I gotta believe that they're gonna have another background villain that they end up teaming up with at the end to take down or something. Maybe Jigsaw. I don't know. Maybe it's a Punisher villain to set up him getting his own solo series. I don't know. It's all speculative at this point.
I mean, the Punisher in the TV show looks very much just like, obviously not a person that would put on a costume. He doesn't really care.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like we're gonna get it where he like always wears the skull, or if it's just something where they get to the point at some point there's a big climactic scene and he takes off his jacket and he's just got the shirt on. You know what I mean? It just happens to be something. They reference the skull a lot.
Yeah, it better be a. I assume, like kind of what Josh said, they're gonna wait until the end of the season to really establish that this is the Punisher. Like, they're obviously it is the Punisher, but they're gonna be like, oh, here he is in his full glorious outfit at the last 10 minutes of the last episode.
Do you think they're gonna do it where he's in like just like pants and the shirt and he's got like guns, or they're gonna do like the actual suit where he's got the boots and the gloves and the whole?
You know what? See, I would have no problem if they did the classic like white skull coming down and then part of the skull forms his ammo belt.
Right, yeah.
And like the skull's teeth are like the clips that he uses, and he's got the white boots and the white gloves. I wouldn't care. Would have no problem with it. That's like classic 90s Punisher.
There's really no way to mess up the outfit for the Punisher.
No.
Because no matter what you do, like you can, as long as you incorporate a
skull,
skull somewhere,
you're fine.
like you're like, all right.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the white boots, and no one's gonna be like, oh, you didn't have the white boots. But if you have the white boots, no one's gonna be like, oh, you had the white boots. Yuck. No. Either way, it's gonna be like, fucking Punisher, yeah. He's gonna have a lot of guns. He's gonna blow stuff up.
And the first Daredevil season was not insanely gory, but had a good amount of gore in it. But when you add the Punisher, it's almost just being like, remember that gore? We're gonna turn it up to 11.
Up the ante.
Just like click it up.
They better.
I think it. I mean, there's quite a bit of like allusion to gore in the trailer.
Right, but they are trailers. They're good at illusions.
They are trailers.
Maybe they could have him fight the Russian. That could be the bad guy at the end. You know, from like the Punisher movie.
Oh,
Kevin Nash
yeah.
played the Russian.
Oh God!
But this time it could be Dolph Lundgren.
What? Speaking of Dolph Lundgren, has anyone watched the trailer for Kindergarten Cop 2?
No, I forgot to watch that. I totally missed it.
I found an article about it, reading about it, but it's like, and the trailer's out. I'm like, no link to the trailer? Thanks, article. And then I never found the trailer after that. After I read like a page and a half worth of an article talking about how it's just the first one over again with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I assume it is.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great.
So it's the best part.
Yeah.
So you're going to watch first season Daredevil before you see the second one. But we're all...
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
Nope, I'm going to watch the episode numbers the same. So I'll watch season 1, season 2, 1, 2, 2.
Oh.
That's an interesting way to do it.
It'll be like flashback.
Flashbacks.
Like, all right, so what the hell's going on? Oh, okay, thank God I got a season 1 episode next to bridge the gap a little. Then I get 2 finales in a row.
That would be pretty
That
fun.
would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I might actually, if I watch season 2, I might watch all the way to season 2 and then watch the finale season 1 before I watch the finale season 2, just to get that effect.
It'd be weird though, because like if I watch the finale from season 1, I'll be like, oh, so that's how this all started. Okay.
That's how it happened.
Now I can wrap it all up.
Now I can wrap it all up. Perfect. So, going off comic book news a little bit, a new poster came out for a movie franchise that's very near and dear to my heart. The Predator franchise.
Mine too.
I love the Predator. The first Predator movie,
Classic.
I've seen like a million times. Like a million times, I feel like. And
that's a lot of times.
That is a lot of times, and I probably I've seen it so much. That was like when I think of like R-rated movies, like I was able to watch when I was way too young.
Mm-hmm.
There's like Predator, Die Hard, and Lethal Weapon are like the 3.
Yeah, I had. I was kind of like how I was too. Like I had Predator, Terminator, pretty much Arnold films because Total Recall was in there too. Yeah. My parents let me watch a few of them when I was younger. Yeah, and it was great.
How can you say no to Arnold's face? He's like, this is just a face a child would love.
Yeah.
Let's put him in.
Oh, and then the Alien movies too. They let me watch the Alien movies.
Yep. So a new Predator poster came out for the new Predator movie that's going to be written by Shane Black.
right,
who helped write the first Predator movie because he was like the writer on set, and he actually played a character in the movie, so they could have him on set to help write the script.
Yeah.
And he did Iron Man 3.
And then he did Iron Man 3. But before that, he did another good movie, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, with Robert Downey Jr., which was another good movie. So he has good movies. He's got.
Doesn't he have that? Doesn't he has another movie coming out though before this?
Yeah, the one with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see it. It looks good.
That comes out pretty soon. That comes out, I think.
Forgot all about that.
Yeah, I know. I most people did because like all that's really in like news lately is comic book movies.
Yeah,
which comes out in like July or August, I think.
You want to bet?
No.
I'm going with May. No. April. Go with April.
Find out when it comes out, Brent.
Find out. Okay. Let me get the title first because that'd be the best thing. Iron Man, The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guys.
And it comes out May 20th, 2016.
All right.
I was close.
Didn't you say May? You said
I
April
said May.
May.
I went May, April.
I said April.
Yep.
Damn it.
You were close. You were the closest.
Without going over Price is Right's rules.
Yep.
Yes, this was that trailer I got super excited for because it reminds me a lot of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and like that era of film. And then Ryan Gosling's really funny if you let him be funny. And in the trailer he gets a couple moments that are just
And then you got Russell Crowe. In it.
He's
I'm Russell Crowe and I like to fight. Come on, Tugger.
he's crowing it up. Oh man,
Fighting around the world.
yeah.
One of my favorite South Park episodes.
So
Is that what that's from?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
you don't remember that?
I don't remember that
episode.
We'll watch the clip after.
Yeah.
After this.
But
Or you could
I could superpose it up there. That'd be great. Just so everyone can see Russell Crowe in South Park form. But the new poster came out for Predator. I mean, it's not a whole lot besides "You'll never see him coming." Which isn't that a line from Iron Man 3? Isn't it like the Mandarin say, "You'll never see me coming"? Right?
that was a pretty good Mandarin.
Isn't that the line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good real Mandarin. Maybe.
But that's as soon as I saw the poster.
They're not going to fix that.
I don't know, man.
As soon as I saw the poster, I was like, wait a minute. Didn't he already use that? Which I think is a little weird, but it doesn't matter because it's a new Predator and I'm excited. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'm super pumped. And like, because a lot of people were worried about Predators, and I enjoyed Predators.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. That was a fun movie.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the different Predators. Like, this one does this thing. Or, like, they looked a little different.
Yeah, there's like the different races that were like fighting each other. And the fact that, like, it referenced the first movie a shit ton.
Right.
But that was still awesome. Like,
it was still a fun movie. It was way better than, in my opinion, the Alien vs. Predator series.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought it was a really good, like, all right, let's get back to the roots. So then now we're going to get Shane Black's one,
which
I
really
hope
the
that
It's even rootier.
Right. I just want them. They don't need to do the callbacks though. Like just like you can throw. I think you're allowed one. Like you can do one callback.
What the hell are you?
Yeah, like that would be fine.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
Or just the turn around.
Turn around,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that would be great.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's every time I think I go, man, that's the line. And I think we talked about it a while back. I watched a cannibal movie that I think I have on the shelves somewhere behind me. It's like it was a ripoff of Cannibal Holocaust and Predator.
Oh yeah,
And
but the
they had all
literal
those- the literal lines, and I ain't got time to bleed was one of them and stuff. So it was just
that's sad.
Yeah, but I can't wait for Predator. Shane Black.
Isn't it?
proud.
It's called The Predator, right?
I think it's The Predator or just Predator.
I think it's The Predator.
One of the
I'm
two.
pretty sure it's The Predator.
That's where they're at with the franchise. They're like, we're not doing numbers. We're just gonna either add an S, put a the, put an
Yes, The Predator.
Oh, Predator.
a Predator.
Josiah was right. The Predator.
And then soon we'll get To Catch a Predator, the movie.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Turns out Chris Hansen is the Predator.
Or he catches the Predator, like comes walking into this room to kill somebody, and he walks out like, go ahead, have a seat.
Why don't you take a seat?
Why don't you take a seat?
Right over there.
What's really interesting is
What do you got
that
on that shoulder, huh?
the description for the movie, it just says a sequel to the 1987 sci-fi film Predator. So maybe just a direct sequel
Is this
from
one
that.
gonna ignore Predator 2?
You can't ignore what happened in Predator 2.
Maybe they don't ignore it, but they don't.
Isn't Gary Busey in Predator 2?
Yes, he is.
That's what. I knew it.
And he gets cut in half.
Yep.
You know what's really funny about that scene though? When he gets cut in half, is that you see his legs fall, but you don't see like it just shows his bottom half fall, and you're like, wait, where does his top half go?
Just floating.
Like that's the one thing I've always wondered. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but it shows him in the meat factory, right? And he's got the meat blocking him, and he shows the predator throw his little disc, and then it shows the disc cut through the meat, and then it goes over to Gary Busey and cuts him in half, and then you see the bottom half of his torso fall, and there's blood. I'm like,
where's the rest?
What about gravity? That's got to be a factor here. Maybe he grabbed the meat when he got cut in half and he's just screaming.
Just hold it.
God damn it.
There are a couple actually really cool short Predator films, like fan films that are pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's one Predator Dark Ages that's all about like medieval knights having to deal with a predator, which is pretty cool.
I think I've seen that.
And then there's one
fucking luck.
And then there's
we have to find a dragon.
There's one I forget what it's called, but it's like Predator, but it's during like World War II, and like there's like American soldiers and Japanese soldiers fight off in this battle, and then like a predator comes down and ends up killing all of them. Where then like one American and a Japanese soldier have to like work together to fight the predator. It's kind of a weird movie.
I've even seen one where he fights Batman.
I saw the one where he fights Wolverine.
Yeah,
that was a fun one.
So there's a lot of stuff.
I think someone also did one where he fights like RoboCop and Terminator.
I need to see that.
Yeah.
That's something I've always wanted. We've gotten the Alien vs. Predator movie. Where's our RoboCop vs. Terminator movie?
I think there's a fan film out there.
I know, but there needs to be like, I need millions of dollars backing this project.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions.
The RoboCop is here to protect John Connor.
Yeah. Like, that would be great. Like, that's all you need.
Yeah.
If they want to just, the Terminator films are kind of on the down end and known like the remake of RoboCop, this is how you revive both series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring back Peter Weller.
You don't, I would, that would be hard because, like,
he's a lot older now.
Yeah. Peter Weller is older, and then Arnold is older. So, I mean, you could have them both go at each other. I guess that would work.
Yeah.
We're all like, no one wants to say it, but we're like, we all really want to see that.
Yeah.
And then when the Predator shows up, Danny Glover's old ass.
I'm too old for this shit.
Just jumps down from out of nowhere.
I'm too old for this shit. And then Mel Gibson comes in, and he's like, wait a minute. Franchise, what are we doing? Are you...
Which one are you?
Which one are you? And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Like, Mel Gibson's like the post-credit zinger.
It's like, wait a minute. What's happening now?
What is this?
So wait, is this Lethal Weapon? What are we at?
Lethal Predator
Cop.
Lethal Predator Cop 5.
I'm down.
All right.
Take my money. Ticket sold.
So that's one. So we have a budget that we could spend of at least $7.
At least $7.
Upwards of $7.
I'll even pay like I'll pay $12, like extreme ticket price for that. So
we can still only spend $7 because we need to make a little bit. Too.
No, right?
So,
or that goes into your promotional budget, right? So you can like promote the movie afterwards.
No,
Trailers.
it's word of mouth.
No, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
Yeah. It's free.
So I was reading an article right before we did the show that was talking about someone found an original Star Wars 35mm print without all the George Lucas modifications over the years, and that it's been like a 2.5 year process of them scanning it into a digital format. Obviously not getting the okay from anybody, so it's not like you're gonna go find this in a store and buy it. However, the article did say if you scrounge around on the dark side of the internet, it's possible you may find it. I haven't looked. I'm not saying I might not try to look because I would be definitely interested. The dark side. I'd be very interested in seeing it, but that is possible out there. So if you're a big Star Wars fan and would like to see, I mean, I was just watching a video. They were talking about one of the creatures in the cantina is like a werewolf creature. They got cut out of all the new ones, and then J.J. Abrams threw a werewolf creature in the new kind of cantina scene in the new movie. And it's like you don't ever see that werewolf in the old movies unless you go back way back to find it. So it's like, man, that'd be cool stuff I didn't even know that I was missing.
Right.
Because there's things that are obvious that you miss, like Han shooting first, stuff like that.
Right.
But like certain ones, I don't even know what I'm missing at some points. So it'd be cool to go back and see like really old, untouched Star Wars.
The dewbacks, those things don't exist. The lizards at the sand troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not in there.
They're not in there?
I mean,
those are my favorite.
They're just like off in the distance.
Well, the like close up of the one that's like that one, no. There's some scenes in Mos Eisley where you got like a thing like rearing up, and that doesn't happen. It's basically
the original one.
Yeah, he basically was like, all right, so this scene, there's not a whole lot going on visually. Let's just busy it up. Here's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
that's what most of A New Hope is.
Mm-hmm.
I still have I have New Hope, like the original VHS for it. So gotta find a VCR.
I think I have one in the basement actually.
Oh yeah.
If you want to bring it over, we'll watch it.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Hopefully it's got an HDMI port on it.
I have a converter that's the component to HDMI converter.
Do you really?
I do. Somewhere around here. I don't use
What
it.
a worthless cable.
It's not it's like a little box you have to plug in, and then the component cable goes in and an HDMI cord comes out of it.
It's worthless.
Worthless, but I bought it because I had a TV that only had component inputs, but my component cable on my PlayStation 3 was broken. And so I had to have HDMI out to go into this box to then go to a component cable to plug into my TV.
Nice.
Yep. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So getting off that, I wanted to talk about, this is one of the few times I get to talk about one of my great loves, Stephen King, in great detail, because there was like 3 separate stories about Stephen King movies. So I might be talking a lot for a little while, so bear with me, guys. So first things first, let's start with the easiest one. The producer of It, because they're redoing It, and they've had some up and downs. They've had casting and then cancellations and back and forth a lot of it. Says it will be an R-rated movie, and it'll still be 2 movies.
Yeah.
Which will be, one movie will be when everyone's a kid, the first generation, probably with a little flash forward to the adults, because it starts off with them as an adult and then goes back to them as kids in the book, and vice versa. So maybe a little bit of adults, but then the finale, which is all of them as adults, is the second movie. If you don't know what it is, I mean, just how do you not? I don't even know how to explain it to somebody who doesn't know what it is.
Just Wikipedia.
It's a Stephen King novel. It's fantastic. Very, very long, very big, but great book. And it's had a TV movie.
Did we talk about this before when you were talking about the sex scene?
Yeah,
like it has to.
If you're
there
a
has
listener,
to be a sex scene in there with the kids.
It's very important to the story.
Sexing
it's
it up.
very important to the story.
It's weird.
All they have to
It
do
is
is make
weird.
them high school age, and then it's not so weird, as long as it's in the right.
And Brent will argue that.
No, it's still weird.
It's not weird. It's very important to the story.
Fucking weird.
It's very important to the story. I'm not saying that it's not weird. It is weird, but this is a Stephen King novel. You're gonna get fucking weird. But it's very important to the character's evolution. Like, without that, the girl's pointless. She's like, that's what her purpose
awful
is.
to say.
And it is, but that's like her character.
She's just there to fuck all the dudes.
She's there to bring them back together and make sure their powers are still usable after Pennywise is destroyed the first time.
We already talked about this.
Anyway, so...
I love bringing this up. I'm going to bring this up in future podcasts.
Just randomly.
Hey, remember that time that we were talking about It?
Oh, man. Love it. But
it's going to be great when the movie comes out, too, though, because...
They're not going to have
the scene.
They're not going to have the scene.
If they have the scene, though, like, Brent will be all about it, and then Mike will be like, this is god-awful, and it'll be great to just watch this.
So... it is good to see that they're doing an R rating, because a PG-13 rating of it would just be complete worthless.
Yeah,
well, because then by that you can already rule out the sex scene.
Oh yeah, it's just out of there.
With an R, you're like, well, they're good.
I could do sex scene.
They wouldn't be able to rip the kid's arm off. They wouldn't, like, so much of that movie would just be wasted. Mm-hmm. And the TV movie wasn't even that gory. But it had a lot of
terrifying.
It was terrifying. It had a lot of
fucking Tim Curry. That's
Tim Curry made it terrifying. But I mean, there's just so much that is so much in that book that it just has to be rated R.
Yeah.
One, for just language alone.
Yeah.
I mean, to not be able to swear is just like would be so weird for some of the characters. So
yeah, I mean, you can just see what they do with it and how it will look.
Mm-hmm. I don't want them to do like some over the top weird. It's like trying to be scary clown, because like It in the TV movie, he wasn't like deformed or anything or trying to look super scary. He just looked like a clown.
Yeah,
you know, like
and
a normal average.
Tim Curry
clown.
in makeup, and it's like
teeth.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but the teeth is like, but that he doesn't have those teeth all the time.
No.
Right.
The teeth was the actual real creature coming through the clown.
Yeah.
So, if they do weird stuff with the clown, it just would be too much.
I just want like a normal looking clown is already scary enough.
Find somebody as creepy as looking as Tim Curry and put him in makeup.
Creepiest looking.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Tim Curry's not even creepy looking.
Cast Pennywise?
They did, but I don't know if he's still attached. Let me look it up because I heard that they dropped out because they lost the director at one point, and I think he was attached to him. But I will look up and see if he's still attached or not. So let me do.
If you had to choose, who would you choose?
That's really tough.
I know who me and Mike would choose. Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah,
Tom Hardy.
More like Steve Buscemi.
Oh my god!
I can see him talking to the kids. Like they're like, "Why are you doing this, Mister?" Like, well, I don't know, kid.
Oh my god! Yes.
One day I watched Fantasia and it all just clicked.
So
and then they have to bring in Adam Sandler to kill him or something.
Oh my god!
The actor that's cast as Pennywise right now, he's still rumored, I guess, is Will Poulter,
the kid from We're the Millers.
We're the Millers.
Oh, to play it?
Yeah,
play Pennywise.
Apparently, he was like really impressive in his audition.
Really?
That's what I read.
He's also in.
He sold it.
Apparently, The Revenant.
Yeah, he's in The Revenant.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
He's also.
Have you guys seen that yet?
Nope.
No, I haven't seen it.
Really?
He's
You
also
know what I
in The
thought was
Maze
interesting though? That Deadpool made more money than that already.
Yeah,
I thought
Deadpool's like I was reading. It was the highest grossing X-Men movie so far,
No.
domestically.
I guess if you do, I don't know if it's grossing or if like percentage wise. If you do it like percentage wise, like how much money they made versus how much the money they spent, because like I know X-Men Days of Future Past like had a budget of $200 million and it grossed like $230 million. So it's like, yeah, you made $30 million off it, but you got a movie like Deadpool that was under $60 million budget and almost tripled that.
I know.
Or already tripled that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But I just thought that was interesting that I was like, The Revenant, I thought was, that was like my prediction, like that was going to be the biggest movie until like the summer blockbusters. But.
So he still casts as it, which until I see the person in makeup, I can't really, because he does, not to be mean to Will Poulter, but he's got a creepy face. He can get creepy. Yeah. He's kind of weird looking. So
he's a weird looking guy. That's what I'm gonna say. He's weird.
He plays like the bad kid in Maze Runner, and he's got like a lot of like angry, evil faces. And I'm like, if you put that in clown makeup, you could be pretty terrifying. So I could definitely see it, but until I see it, I can't 100% get behind it. But
I agree.
So far, I'll see where it goes. Still with Stephen King, The Stand. They were talking about doing a movie of The Stand,
which would be great.
Which is another. I think it's actually Stephen King's longest book, if I remember correctly.
So like the longest fucking TV movie I've ever seen in my life.
How many parts is that in?
I don't know, but isn't it a long fucking movie?
I've never seen it.
Because it's like, isn't it like 3 or 4 parts, and each part's like 3 hours or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
It's not. I know it's long, or maybe it's just like 2 parts. Maybe it's only like 6 hours.
Yeah,
it's like 6 or 9 hour TV movie.
I was gonna look up and see.
They
how
still
long it
miss a lot
is.
of stuff from the book. From what I didn't read the book because it's way too big, and I don't have the attention span.
Yeah.
But The Stand is such a good story, though. Like, it's a really cool story.
So the TV miniseries was apparently in 1994. Yep. That was 3. 6 hours. It's
6 hours, long. So it's like 2 3-hour.
2 3-hour parts.
Yeah.
So the new movie has run into a little bit of a snag because what they wanted to do. So if you don't know anything about The Stand, it's pretty much a book that takes place right before and after pretty much a virus wipes out most of the world's population. So what the plan was originally, from what I could understand, is that they were going to do a TV series that was going to be the before the break or during the breakout of the whole virus or whatever they're going to do for the movie. And then the movie was going to be the after part. And that's why the book's so big, is that because like the first half before it even starts is a book in itself. And then the book actually starts with the aftermath. So the movie was going to be the aftermath and the TV show was going to be the forehand. And they're running into issues releasing the TV show worldwide along with the movie worldwide in a time frame that would make sense, where half the world is watching one half and the other world's getting the end, or vice versa and stuff like that. So they're running into issues with that. So now it's seeming less likely that they're going to do a TV edition first and maybe do 2 or 3 movies. So it's kind of in limbo now because they don't know what they're going to do with it, which kind of sucks. because they have a great opportunity to have Randall Flagg, who is the antagonist in The Stand, and also a big antagonist in the Dark Tower series, because the Dark Tower series is a Stephen King magnum opus where he pulls characters from other versions of his books and even new characters and even himself at one point. And they've already cast Randall Flagg in the Dark Tower series that we've quote unquote has been worked on for years.
Right.
And Matthew McConaughey has been pegged to play him, which I think would
really?
be a really cool, really sweet peg, as long as Matthew McConaughey shows up to act and doesn't phone it in, where recently he's been doing awesome. So I'm totally down for it. But then you go back to like his early career and you're like, yeah, I don't know if this guy could be Randall Flagg. But recent years, totally has been nailing acting, and I'm totally behind it. So moving on to Dark Tower, they added Abby Lee, who's from Mad Max, which, if I remember right, she's the pregnant one.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe? Question mark? I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought you guys. I thought you would know.
I think
that.
so, because I saw the article. I think it was a picture of her.
I don't know.
Let me see. I will look up Mad Max and see who she is. Well, she's pulled from there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know her name. I'm not familiar with her as an actress.
She's one of the girls.
Yeah.
So let's see. If I pull up, I don't know if are you guys gonna even know the Dag? That's who she is.
Sure.
What does she look like?
She's blonde.
What is?
Yeah, I'll.
Was she a great big fat person?
Was she a great big fat person?
She apparently looks like that. I'll pull up a picture for everyone who's watching the video.
I don't
Okay.
even recognize her.
I think
Is
she's
she
like the
pregnant?
one that's really. Now that I'm second guess, I don't think she was a pregnant one.
Okay.
No,
Moving
this
on.
one.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's not the pregnant one?
Is it the pregnant one?
I don't
No.
know.
That's not the pregnant
Rosie
one.
Huntington Whitley was the pregnant one.
Sorry.
So it's not the pregnant one.
Oh, she's in Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Like, it's not like she hasn't been in anything. So, I mean, she hasn't been in anything substantive.
So she just got cast to play, but what's really weird is, I know I'm going to go on to a little tangent about the Dark Tower that you guys will probably just gloss over, and maybe half our listeners will.
I don't want to do this.
So she's got cast, and she was said to be playing a character called Tirana, I think is how you say it. And
Saurus.
quote unquote going to be
Rex.
that a major female character. Now, if you ask a lot of people that read the Dark Tower series, the name doesn't even sound familiar, and even to me that has been over the books multiple times, I was like, it kind of sounds like a name in there, but I couldn't place her. It's because her name's apparently of a minor character in the 7th book, which doesn't make any sense for her to be a main character in the first movie if she doesn't show up to the 7th book. So there's maybe rumors that she's playing other characters such as Susanna, who shows up in the 2nd book as one of the drawing of the 3. This is where it all glossing over. But for people who know the Dark Tower series, she may play Susanna, which is weird because Susanna is an African-American character that had to deal with racism. Like, a big part of her character is racism. So, like, not that I'm fine with whites and blacks playing different characters,
shoot.
but the fact that racism was such a big part of her character because she's schizophrenic and has got different personalities, all this different stuff, it'd be weird to cast a white character in that role. There's also rumors that she plays Susan, who is Roland Deschain's, the gunslinger's, love, but she gets mentioned a lot, but never actually seen as a character until like the 4th book.
So basically, there's no reference to the first book
in any of her characters,
right?
So, because the first,
so it sounds to me like this project is still falling apart.
This project is all over the place. Pretty much the only female quote-unquote lead in the first book is a tavern wench that Roland Deschain sleeps with a couple times. In the whole first, that's like the only. If I could, I mean, I've read the book 3 times, and that's the only female character that I remember from the whole first book.
Okay.
So unless she's playing her, which is kind of weird because she's described as an older lady, doesn't, I guess, if you want to do it that way. But so that's kind of interesting.
So are they planning on doing this Dark Tower? Are they planning on making this like one movie for each book, or are they planning on just making like one movie to gloss over the entire series?
I don't know if you could do that. I think that would be impossible. They've talked about doing like a movie and then a small TV miniseries and then a movie, and trying to do it in 3 movies plus a TV series. But even then, I don't know if you could fit all of 7 books into that.
Right.
So then they've talked about just doing 7 full movies. Then I've heard that they've talked about doing just a HBO or Showtime or some form of TV series.
Right.
So there's been a lot of talks, and right now I think it stands as they're talking about movie, and they're just kind of leaving it vague on if it's movies, movie TV show crossover, or anything.
We're doing Dark Tower movie.
Yeah, it's very and anything with Stephen King, with pretty much It, The Stand, and Dark Tower. Those are 3 like properties that unless I see something like a trailer or I finally see like people being filmed, I won't believe they're actually being made. Just because it's been talked about so much, and my hopes have gone up and down and up and down.
Right.
And
so let's just plan on them not happening.
it's probably not going to happen. But these were like 3 big articles that I read that were like, I was like, oh my god, Stephen King, and then another one, Stephen King, and I was like, yes, I get to talk about Stephen King. So
do new Cujo.
There's that new show.
Yeah, what's wrong with
Hulu.
doing Cujo?
Just do new Cujo. That's so simple. It's like it's one movie. Obviously, there's no franchise out of it. You know?
yeah,
There's Cujo or Christine.
Christine would be another great.
That
remake.
creepy old man. No better smell in the world than the smell of a new car.
Christine would be great.
Maybe for pussy.
I've listened to interviews where Stephen King's like, they talk to him about Cujo, and he's like, yeah, I don't remember writing that book because he was so high on drugs and alcohol that he just doesn't remember
Pretty
it.
normal story though. Like, what if this big fucking dog just tried to attack you and you're in your car and like, ah!
Well, he talked about he went to go get his motorcycle fixed, and he pulled up at this like side of the road motor shop to get the motorcycle fixed, and a dog ran out and almost came to attack him, and then the owner came out and said like heel, and the dog like immediately healed and stopped. And like he's like, well, what if the owner wasn't there, and what if I wasn't on a motorcycle, what if I was in a car? And that's the whole idea for Cujo, but he says he doesn't even remember writing it. So yeah, wow. Stephen King's an interesting character.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite quotes from him. He's like, if you ever want to know if you're a successful writer, he's like, how do you know he's a successful writer? Stephen King. He's like, did the check clear? Then you're good. I was like, that's a good quote. I like it. It's pretty funny. So
Creep Show, remake Creep Show.
They're talking about was it Creep Show? What we just talked about it with
Tales of the Crypt.
Tales of the Crypt. No, not Creep Show.
Oh, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Because I got excited. I was like, did we talk about Creep Show?
I feel like
that'd be kind of fun.
I feel like I did hear something about Creep Show, but I don't think it was anything
that movie scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Fucking Stephen King turning into a fucking plant monster.
There's a new show on Hulu of Stephen King.
Where's my
11/22/63?
Yes,
with James Franco.
The James Franco, the time travel JF Kennedy show.
That's really good.
Yes,
I
haven't watched
episode.
the show yet, but the book is really good. So I want to check out the show, but I haven't got to sit down and watch it yet.
It's a little long first episode.
Is it? Is it
like
an
hour and a half?
Yeah, I can believe it. So I'm gonna check that out, but that's definitely exciting.
I do have something to talk about though, real quick.
Tell me.
Walking Dead premiere.
Wait. I'm watching it tonight.
Pause 1 second.
I'm not gonna say anything about it.
That's fine. Just right before we get into that.
Damn it.
I've started rewatching The Walking Dead.
Holy shit.
From first season?
No. I started where I left off in the fourth season. I've been mad every episode so far, but I've heard that the 5th season is where it gets good again.
Yes.
So I'm trudging through the 4th season, pissed off at
every
character.
Where are you at right now?
Everybody is heading towards, I guess, can I say it?
Yeah.
Terminus. They're all heading towards
They're on the
Terminus.
railroad tracks.
They're on I think every group is on the railroad tracks that I've seen besides Rick and
that's where it's getting really fun. Once they all start.
I hope so, because all I've seen is every fucking character get emotionally depressed by seeing dead bodies. Yeah. This is the 4th fucking season of a zombie show.
You want zombies, wait until you get to the next season. Because they're relentless, like with the zombies. Like there's some of the biggest zombie scenes in the series are in the following season.
But in 6th season we get that,
the biggest one. Yep, the 6th season. That was the premiere, right? Yep. Season.
See, I have to catch up because I stopped watching after they did the Morgan centric episode of season 6. Which I
wasn't that bad,
but it was so
for them to go be like, this is a special hour-and-a-half episode, and then it was a backstory on Morgan when there was a whole bunch of stuff that they were like they just stopped Like they're like, it got really intense, and then they're like, okay, now we're gonna tell you about why Morgan is the
way he is.
And he is the most annoying fucking character in the show. So I stopped, and then I went on demand because I missed the premiere because I was just like, I'm not gonna watch the premiere. I'm like 4 episodes behind. There's nothing on demand. Like all the episodes, they're like, you can watch the premiere, and I'm like, no, I want like the 4 episodes in between that, please. So I'm waiting for them to show up on demand, or I'll go online and find them. But hopefully I can catch.
Have I met Morgan? Because I don't know Morgan.
Black guy.
Yeah, you met Morgan in season 1.
Rick was like.
Rick is the
guy at his house
with the kid.
He didn't die.
No,
he died at some point. Because Rick runs into him in a small little town at one point, right?
Yes,
and then leaves him. I thought he died there. Or killed himself.
They were the showrunners. I think were thinking of killing him off in that episode, but they were like, no.
Okay.
Well, we spoiled a little bit for you. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
But I will say though, like if you get to the next season and you get halfway through it and you're not enjoying yourself at all, you might as well stop because it at least for your complaints against it, those complaints are all addressed, and they really like it's like kind of like some episodes are crazy zombie, like just zombie after zombie after zombie, and then the next episode is like them trying to regather themselves and like get out of the situation that they're in, and then they run into other situations. It's just like things happen over and over and over and over. And,
I've watched about 5 more episodes. The first 2 I made it through without fast forwarding once.
Okay.
And then the other 3 I fast forward through a couple boring crap like Beth and Daryl and the funeral home crap, and it was so boring.
Oh man,
boring crap.
Their relationship's kind of important.
Yeah, that's really important actually.
Yeah, I get the relationship just by fast forwarding.
Just wait till you get to the episode with Mecha Herschel.
But I was actually happy because there's a point where it's like fast forwarding, and then all of a sudden zombies busting there. I was like, I didn't see that one coming, and I was able to press play. And I was like, for like a minute and a half, but it was a minute and a half I got to enjoy. So other than that, it was boring.
Can't fast forward.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. Any part without a zombie, I'm usually fast forwarding. And even some parts with a zombie, if I just see one of them, like there was a part with the girl that likes Glenn or is married to Glenn. What's her face?
Maggie
is like standing and seeing the sign for Terminus, and one zombie starts walking across the railroad tracks. I press play real quick, and then she looks at it and kind of does like a head tilt, and I'm like, this isn't going to be exciting, and I fast forward through that part because I was like, this isn't going to be a zombie part. It's just going to be like
it's just
filler.
Saves your life.
It's not all about just the zombie parts. It's about the character development.
The character development, I got bored of that in season 2 because all it was. All right, I'm done with character development.
Yeah, but they've killed off almost all of those characters.
I know. But they haven't really introduced anyone new that's interesting.
All the current characters, I really like all of them.
They will.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of I forgot
I'm probably before all interesting crap because it's mostly just the main people.
I do remember
and then, like, the randos they threw in.
This season is like split into 2. Like the first half of this season that you're on right now was the prison, right? And then the prison stuff happened, which was cool.
Which is bullshit, but
well, it was still cool.
How did no one kill the governor's right there? He's like, you shoot zombies in the head without even aiming. Rick's gun's pointed at the ground most of the time. The governor's standing 3 feet in front of him and he can't hit him. It's fucking dumb.
Well, the thing that annoyed me the most about the season 4 first half being about the prison was all of that should have been wrapped up in season 3.
Yeah.
Because season 3, like the whole last half was just filler.
Yeah.
And then they fight, and then the governor's like, oh, shit, well, retreat. I'm like, what? No, like, why didn't you wrap this up? And then they wrap it up the same way they could have. Whatever. But
that whole show, 90% of that show is filler.
But get ready. A villain that's going to make the governor look like a little bitch is on his way.
Yes,
but
he
won't be allowed to swear, which apparently does a ton in the comics.
Which, I don't know. I feel like they should have passed it off to HBO for a season.
Yeah, be like, here, we can't do this. Why don't you do this? Why don't you make this awesome?
Well, actually, I think
Can't AMC do that?
I think they can. They certainly could record it such, or like film it such that a lot of that's intact. It's just when they air it, they can cut it, but then when they put it out on either AMC or like Netflix, it can be back. Because I'm pretty sure they dropped the F-bomb at some point in like Breaking Bad, which obviously you wouldn't be able to do on network TV, but I think it's in there somewhere.
Because I thought AMC can do what they want, can't they?
I think because they're
TVMA.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't think you can. You still. after
Jerry Springer's TV 14. That's like
on this topic.
below.
It's 2015. Can we just let people say words? 2016. Can people just say
Exactly.
words?
How about you just be a parent and monitor what your kids watch?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
isn't there some rule or law that like after a certain time you can on network television you can have cussing, you can have swearing.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I know Comedy Central does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after like 11 o'clock they do that. So it's like you said, they could film it that way, but like they can premiere it at 9 o'clock and then at 11 o'clock when they play the replay.
For you non-pussies out there, stay tuned after The Talking Dead for
an F-bomb.
The Badlands.
Yeah.
And maybe Black and White.
And
I really like the Black and White.
Those shows are
the
starting
best.
to get really excessive.
Black and White.
The way they redid The Walking Dead in black and white. You can watch it in black and white. I like that.
That was one of my favorite scenes in the first season of Better Call Saul. Was the opening where it's all black and white.
Don't they do that? They do that in Walking Dead. They have that one episode where they go back and forth and it's black and white.
Yeah, the flashbacks are all black and white, and then the present's all color.
That's what it was.
That's the premiere of 6.
Oh, is it premiere 6?
I believe so.
Oh,
so the new one is 7, right?
No, they're on
4
6.
They're
still on
season.
It's
6
16 episodes.
Yeah.
So 4 and 5 are on Netflix. 6 is halfway done.
Yeah,
Yes.
Correct?
and not on demand, at least from what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the premiere was last Sunday, and it was great. It was honestly like what you had been wishing the Walking Dead would do, and they did it. They went there.
They're gonna have zombies.
They're
gonna have zombies?
Yeah.
More than that.
Even better than that.
Even better than that.
So the thing is, I know what happens because I thought the episode was over, and I came upstairs and looked at the TV, and my dad was still watching, and he's like, "I don't know if you," and I'm like, "Oh, they finally did this.
Yeah.
Sweet."
Yeah.
And I knew it was coming. I just didn't think they were gonna do it.
Yeah.
This is like the most.
I didn't see that.
Non-spoiler, but like
I
talking
know.
about it.
I know.
Oh yeah.
There's so
good.
many cool things that happened in the premiere that
I've been holding off for a week.
Where me and my wife were sitting there and we both like our mouths were wide open and we looked at each other like, does this really just happen? Is this happening right now? And then there's oh my god, there's so many great things that happen in the new episode premiere. I know that you will never be impressed by The Walking Dead, but
unless they bring back Frank Darabont and they have fucking zombies in the show, that's what'll impress me. That's what'll impress me.
There's so many zombies in
I
the
know.
show. Like that's why it's like, what do you mean?
Honestly, like I will time the next like 3 episodes and I'll put a timer on the time with zombies and the time without.
The Terminus, I know what you're talking about. The railroad track scene, like that whole second half of that season is slow. It is slow.
Well, like, I mean, even going back, like the whole point, like the third season, it was mostly the prison versus the governor and a couple zombies thrown in for fun. That was it. And then the second season was the farm.
I agree with you.
And maybe zombies at the end.
The barn full of zombies.
Yeah, but you only get that at the end. Like that's
you
the
get
show
the mid-season.
Like,
you get it mid-season. You get it at the end.
this like the show is literally like we have zombies for the climactic ending or middle, but during the downtime we're just gonna have people talk.
That's
to each
not the
other.
new season.
Well,
Or the season 5. Season 5 has some really crazy parts.
that wasn't like the first season either. The first season I thought was great. Like you had tons of zombies in the beginning.
6. They
And
turn
then
it up to 11.
5 years later, they finally get back to the zombies.
This one goes off.
You do. I mean, but season 1 they had a decent budget. Season 2 got completely slashed. They
Really?
Yeah, they cut season 2. They cut their budget in half and requested 2 times the amount of episodes.
Well, I heard
Which is
that
why they're only ever on the farm.
Right.
I heard
It's pretty much one setting the whole season.
Yeah.
I heard that they got rid of Frank Darabont during season 2, and they're like, we already have our viewers. We can save money and just keep one scene, and did the farm. That's what I heard.
I knew that their budget got completely slashed, and then they raised Mad Men's budget. So it was like weird. I'm like, okay, so you're giving a show that doesn't require a huge budget.
Watched it.
I watched the first episode.
First episode was great. I
Yeah.
love the first episode. I haven't got back to it yet.
It's stupid.
Overall, it's my favorite TV show.
I fucking hate that show.
Mad Men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the most
How far
boring.
did you get into it though?
I finished season 1, and I was like,
Yes.
this is the most boring show I have ever watched in my life.
It gets better.
It for the budget that it had, I was amazed. Like I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not really anything.
They're just throwing money out the windows, like just like, here, we're gonna make this show, and we're gonna throw this money outside, and
1A is Breaking Bad though, so it's
Yeah.
like
I don't know. Mad Men, I wasn't a fan of at all.
I love the first episode, but I haven't watched more of it to really get into it. But I love the first episode. I thought it ended like the whole first episode is like the way it's set up is like a perfect like. Okay, I kind of get this world. It's interesting. Oh, okay. Whoa. Now I know.
Whoa,
so, it's good stuff. But haven't got back to it yet. The last thing I have now that we've got. Are you done with The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I loved it. It was great.
Okay, cool. The last thing I have is that we had a little bit of an argument beforehand if this was actually news or not. It kind of is and kind of not. But I bought a 4K Blu-ray, which is exciting. So I have it here. Look at.
But we looked up the information. It turns out that what me and you both originally thought about 4K
is lies.
Because when it says mastered mastered in 4K,
so
it just means that.
Here. There you go. You can hold that. I'm gonna go grab something. Hold on.
It's black.
Okay. It's basically that the movie was like mastered in 4K, but then shrunk down
to 1080p
to fit 1080p.
Yeah.
So you can watch 4K mastered movie in 1080p. Like it doesn't make any sense. It's same thing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it up probably for everyone to see, but my top of my Blu-ray for This Is the End says mastered in 4K. So I obviously assume this is a 4K Blu-ray.
Right.
Apparently that's not true. It's that it was a 4K, not file. What would you? A 4K.
Basically, it's not native 4K.
Yeah. So pretty much, it's not actually being projected to 4K. It's just
being
1080.
It's up converted.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's the same thing when you had like a DVD and you put it in a Blu-ray player. It's just up converting it.
Right.
It doesn't make it better quality.
Right. Where this guy, 4K Ultra D, black case. I got the Kingsman. There's a set of like 10 movies out so far that are in this. That's actually high dynamic range 4K that can be projected and seen on 4K if you have a 4K TV, a 4K Blu-ray player, and this 4K Blu-ray. Which, if you do, awesome. I don't, but it does come with the normal Blu-ray. It does have a normal Blu-ray as well, and I thought it'd be really cool.
Does it come with a DVD too?
No, it comes with.
Oh,
that's what I wanted to talk about because there's 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and digital HD. There's no DVD, but obviously DVDs are still being bought a ton. So is this like the first time that like we've had like 3 generations that aren't just like Blu-ray and HD DVD? It's like DVD, Blu-ray, like 3 different like.
Yeah, I mean the only similar thing that I've seen.
You're talking about different resolutions.
Thank you.
Yeah, as far as resolutions, it's probably the first time because
we've had 3.
Like we were bundling Bluray, DVD, and VHS.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like if you talk about
one for you, one for the kids, and one for your grandma. Give her the VHS,
the ultimate bundle pack.
Yeah. But we've had similar things as far as different features where you had like the Blu-ray 3D, and DVD, which I'm like, who the fuck needs all of those? Like if you're buying it for the 3D. You're probably good on just that one.
Yeah.
Do you or like that and the Blu-ray. Like,
I love when I get those because they're great because like you can like if somebody's got like if you have like the 3D it's like the 3D Blu-ray, the Blu-ray, the digital, and then the DVD, and you're like I can let somebody borrow this and still keep my movie. So if they don't return it, I still have my movie. It's fine. And I've done that and it's actually saved me. I've let my friends borrow like the DVD and then.
Or
they don't have it anywhere. It's gone.
Borrow the 3D. Like, you don't have one of these, do you, shit?
So I thought it was really cool. A lot of people were making a big deal about it, so I picked one up. Obviously, I can't take advantage of it because I don't have a 4K TV or a Blu-ray player. But
it's a good buy. It's a good buy.
It's a good buy. It's got the Blu-ray in it, and
What's the price difference?
Yeah, this is the Blu-ray was $27.99. This 4K Ultra. HD.
Oh, I thought you were talking about regular Blu-ray.
No, I was like, what?
What the fuck are they doing at Best Buy?
No, the regular Blu-ray, I think it was on sale. I think it was on sale for $9.99. So a huge different in price, but I don't know the regular price of the Kingsman right now on Blu-ray. Right. But I think this was $27.99.
All right.
So I was pretty. I mean, I wanted the Kingsman anyway, and they like the other movies was Exodus of Gods and Kings or whatever that whitewash Egyptian movie. They had The Martian, which was good, but I don't know where they had Agent 47 Hitman.
Of course.
They have quite the selection.
They do. They had a Wild with what was it, Reese?
Yeah.
Who's fucking going out and buying that one?
My god, Wild just came out in 4K. I gotta get that.
The advertisement for the 4K Blu-rays had X-Men Days of Future Past, but nowhere had it. I wasn't able to find it.
Oh.
But in the advertisement for the big release, that title was in there, but I couldn't find it.
All right.
And then there was a couple others I can't. This was the only movie that I looked at. I was like, Fantastic Four was another one.
Oh, nice.
So this was the movie I looked at, and I was like,
So
this is one
Fox
I'm gonna.
movies?
Are these all
That
Fox?
shit movie.
Maybe they are Fox.
Is Fox releasing them?
I'd have to check. them.
Was Wild Fox? I thought that was independent.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a little subsidy or something.
Maybe it's like Fox Spotlight or something like that. Searchlight. Wait, what is it?
Searchlight?
Is it Searchlight or Spotlight?
Searchlight?
We'll go with Searchlight.
Searchlight. Yeah, Fox Searchlight is true.
How many times can we say
Searchlight?
light in some form and then Spotlight?
Spot?
Search
Spot search.
Light.
Light bright. No. Bright light.
So
Fox Easy Bake Oven.
probably not a
Fox
big deal
creepy
for a lot of
crawlers.
people because no one does anyone here have or know of someone that has a 4K TV?
No.
No.
The way I am with technology.
No, yes, they do.
You know somebody that has one?
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't have one, right? Like I know.
Do I have a 4K TV?
No, you don't. I know of somebody.
I have a kid.
Yeah, I know of somebody that has a 4K TV, and I probably
Do you want to trade?
if I'm gonna buy a new TV, it'll probably be a 4K TV. But as of right now, I don't have.
I almost bought one because I think Best Buy for Black Friday had one that was, I want to say, like 700, 800 for like a fairly good size. I think it was Samsung, so it wasn't like
Probably like a 50-inch.
Yeah, I think it was 50-inch, and I was like, maybe. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't need a TV, like a new one. Mine's fine. And I was like, well, if I wait a year or two more, then I can probably get it for like 500. And I'd rather just wait.
It's only a matter of time because right now they have the new Red cameras, the new sensors in them shoot 8K. There's no reason for 8K right now.
I'll just wait until we get 10K.
Right, yeah. So it's like 4K TVs are out right now, but like we've had cameras for I don't know how many years now. We'll say probably like 6 years that have been able to shoot 4K, like that have been relatively accessible. And then so 4K is now becoming affordable. In the next 5 years, we're gonna jump up to 8K TVs. This is never ending.
Yeah,
and there's really no reason for it because
at some point you
like,
can't pick up the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not in a position where money is no object, but I would never want to be like the first adopter of any of these things. Like when HD TVs first came out, like flat screen TVs, they're like, all right, you can get one for $2,000 for a 32-inch TV, and you're like, God, what the hell?
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, you want this plasma TV? It's $80. You can have it.
And I know that somebody was talking about that the first generation of 4K TVs didn't have HDR or high dynamic range,
right,
which is being used in this Blu-ray and whatever else you're probably going to get in 4K. So if you bought a 4K TV, 2 years ago? That's kind of like the beginning of them. 3 years ago, something like that.
It's like 3 years ago. I think it's when they around about like 2.5, 3 years ago.
If you picked up one then, you're probably not even using it or not being able to use it with the stuff that's coming out.
Right? Yeah, because I mean, and then when those things first launched, I remember the 46-inch TV was $5,000.
Yeah,
now it's like that's stupid, and like then they had the 55, which it was around $7,000 or $8,000.
Yeah, so
insane.
I mean, they're coming down in price now.
Oh yeah.
But,
you can get a good one for under $1,000 now. But.
So, which I mean, if I plan on buying a new TV eventually in my life. Obviously, 4K or whatever's out at that point. But it's just interesting. I thought it was strange to have DVDs at one resolution, Blu-rays at one, and then also 4K Blu-rays. And maybe because like DVDs is like unlike VHS, that pretty much once DVDs came out, VHS died away relatively quickly. DVDs have been around, I think, the longest after a new generation has come out than anything before it.
Well, DVDs were out for, I don't know, because it took a while for DVDs to kill off VHS.
Was it?
Yeah, it took a while because I was pretty young. I remember when DVDs were first coming out, and I went like 6 years begging my parents to get like a DVD player. And finally, we got one, and then like I remember seeing like going to like the video stores to like rent stuff, and like seeing the VHS section get smaller and smaller and smaller until it was just gone. And I remember being like, "Oh my God, everybody has DVD now. This is amazing."
Do you guys remember your first DVD?
DVD?
Yeah, what was the first DVD your family or you owned?
The first one I ever bought was I bought two movies. I bought Scream and Full Metal Jacket.
I think our first DVD was the first Spider-Man movie. I think
it was Austin Powers, Spider Shagman.
We didn't buy a lot of DVDs. See, my dad was really into making illegal copies of VHS tapes. So many that if the FBI
putting a little tape over the tab.
Well, he would set up his camcorder with the VHS blank in it, and then hook it up to the VCR, and then just record it.
Yeah.
And we had just thousands of these fucking movies, and you're sitting there going, like, if they ever raided our house.
Yeah,
they could have had a lot. They'd been like, we got like $2 billion in fines here. Yeah. I think it was like $200,000 per movie on that Warner.
250.
Okay, 250 per film.
Yeah.
We had a lot. Yeah. I had like every episode of Beast Wars because my dad would be like, all right, I'll record it for you. And then when it would stop, he'd be like, all right, now I'll just record the next episode and all the seasons of Beast Wars on VHS. And,
recording TV was one of those things that was legal. You could record the TV stuff.
Yeah.
But you just couldn't record like movies.
Other VHS tapes.
Yeah, but then he would record the VHS tapes. I've still got the Star Wars films somewhere. Can't play them. I don't have. What is this contraption?
I remember my first DVD was Castaway, and we literally sat around the computer to watch it because we didn't have a DVD player, but we had a DVD of Castaway, so we put it in the computer and then sat around the computer monitor and watched it. I remember
That's cute.
Oh yeah, it was tons of fun. But I'll always remember my first 4K Blu-ray. It was the Kingsman.
You remember your first Blu-ray?
I don't. That's what I was trying to remember when I was thinking of getting this. I was like, what was my first Blu-ray?
I remember mine. I always buy like. No, not. Yeah, I always buy two at least. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had Alien vs Predator Requiem was that one, and then I also bought Meet the Robinsons.
Was it? No, that's not the. Is that the one with the
animation with the T-Rex?
Yeah, big head, little arms.
I love that movie. I don't care. I know it's like two polar opposite movies, but I loved it. And I remember I lived with my old roommates, and we sat around and drank and did other activities while we watched those movies, and it was a great night.
I know one of the first Blu-rays that was in my house was The Ugly Truth, but that's because it came with the Blu-ray player.
Nice.
So
I'd have to go back and look. Like I probably have pictures of like my small collection at the time. I have absolutely no clue what my first one was, though.
I wonder what my first 4K Blu-ray will be.
I know I'm
gonna wait until there's a bigger selection because that selection right now is
it's not very good. Yeah, I waited a long time to switch over to Blu-rays because I was like, no, I've got a ton of DVDs. I'm gonna hold true to DVDs, and then finally I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy Blu-rays.
Yeah, Star Wars on 4K.
Because I'm already gonna buy that when it comes out. So,
you think because we were talking about the 35mm original print, we're talking about Disney maybe doing. Like, the only one that they don't have a hold of, what you were saying, the first one?
Yeah, I believe Fox has the distribution rights to New Hope forever. Like, there's no contract with it. Because it was the first movie, you know, it was just, they have it.
So they can get rights to 5 and 6.
Yeah, I believe Fox's rights expire sometime.
Sometime?
Yeah, I'm not.
So maybe 4K sure. Blu-rays of the original Star Wars? That'd be kind of cool.
Do you think, is it possible for them to give up the rights to the Star Wars?
Well, I think it would just have to be like a joint release. Like
Fox and Disney.
Yeah, like Disney works out a deal where who knows, you know? Maybe that was some of the fucking back deals that are going on. Disney's like, all right, if you give us the Fantastic Four and the original print to A New Hope, we will let you make X-Men TV shows. And then Fox is like, all right, fine. Yeah, fine. And they're like, how about Deadpool? Like, they might not even do that good. Do you want to give them that? Give them us? Come on.
Yeah. It might not do well. Why would you give us Deadpool?
Why give us Wolverine, too? You can have Gambit. Gambit's going to be great.
Gambit's going to be big.
I forgot Gambit comes out this year. Remember last week we were talking about... Fox has 3 comic book movies this year, then. They have Deadpool, X-Men.
Is it official? Because I haven't seen
still on the slate, man.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything for it. But
they have a director. They have 2 actors.
But you would think by now they'd have trailers or something. Yeah, teaser.
Yeah. You know? Are they shooting it right now?
That's what I don't know. I haven't seen any production for it. Nothing.
No one has any idea. Gambit.
I think that movie's. I think it's gonna be one of those movies that's like.
I love the director though.
Surprise, Gambit.
It's gonna be.
Gambit's out.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Maybe they're gonna do a Cloverfield thing, 10 Cloverfield thing, where it's like all of a sudden it's gonna be because when is this slated to come out? Like October.
10 Cloverfield Lane. I thought
No.
Gambit. Yeah, it's like October.
Yeah, so maybe they'll wait until like August and they'll be like, "Hey, here's a Gambit trailer."
Because like Doctor Strange comes out in November, and we're already getting set pics. Like today, they released pictures of stuff from the set, and it looks great.
Yeah,
but it's like, what the fuck what's Gambit doing? You know? I don't know.
They shouldn't be making that movie.
No.
Yeah, no one's. Is anyone excited for Gambit?
No.
If you're excited for Gambit, let us know.
I don't think I would even. I'm probably not going to bother going to see it in theaters. I won't even see the trailer.
I'm not even going to bother watching.
I'm not even going to watch the fucking trailer. That's how much I don't care.
That's too much load time. I'm not waiting that.
I'm not clicking on your stupid link.
No.
Fuck your link.
Yeah. So I don't know. Doctor Strange though, and yes,
I can't wait.
Very
Doctor Strange looks
trailer.
good.
I'm hoping we get that as our like post credits tease with Civil War.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll get something.
I am Doctor Strange.
Barrel Rider. Oh man. So that's all I had today. So thanks you guys for joining me on the TheCineChat. I never thank you guys for coming and spending your time with me.
It's like you're
About
Mr.
damn
It's like Mr. Rogers.
Thanks for stopping by
the neighborhood.
Thanks for everybody who's watched the video podcast or listens to us on iTunes. If you're listening on iTunes and didn't know there was a video podcast, check out YouTube. Check out TheCineMen.net. There's now a video podcast. You can watch us talk about movies, and if we reference pictures and stuff, you'll be able to see that at least a little bit. Possibly.
Mike, you look concerned when he said that.
No, I had to think about it extra long today. I was like, God dang it, I gotta like look decent, I guess.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Just as like, I've had a kid, I'm married, I'm done.
Yeah.
If I get on
You're
the
lucky
internet,
I showed up with pants on.
So thanks for watching, and for this episode of TheCineChat, this has been Brent,
Mike,
Josh,
And Josiah.
I'll see you guys next time.
see ya.
Okay, bye-bye.